Welcome to the Properties to Profit podcast. I'm Michael, your host. Excited to share with you my journey from a six-figure job to building a successful real estate business. Each episode will explore various aspects of real estate investing, from wholesaling and flipping to managing rentals. I'll share the lessons and insights I've gained, aiming to help you avoid mistakes and achieve your financial goals. Expect guest experts, valuable tips, and practical advice to guide you on your own real estate journey. Thank you for tuning in. If you find any value in this podcast, please subscribe, share, and follow me on social media. Let's turn properties into profits together.
Hey guys, Michael here with Properties to Profits. And on today's episode, I really want to dive in all the issues and problems we're solving for our sellers. And so I've went through the deals that we've closed so far this quarter. We're in Q3 of 2025 at the time of this recording. And we've closed just over 22 or 23 transactions, somewhere around there. And now some of them are repeat, but I hear all the time wholesalers are overpaid. I hear they don't do any service to the market. And I really want to break down some of the problems we're solving. And because some of them are big, messy problems that take us months to solve. So I'm just going to no particular order of how challenging they are or anything like that. But just kind of go into it because I want people to understand what we do and why we bring value and why we get these deals at a discount. So one of the ones I just texted the seller and he just got his escrow hold back. So that's what made me think of this idea here but one of them was a seller in Columbus that unfortunately him and his wife had parted ways 10 years ago. He owned the house outright by himself and they were still married. So dower rights still applied. So we had to negotiate with her. And it's a challenging tactic, right? It's a challenging canal to navigate due to the fact that he thinks he's entitled to all the money because he's the one lived in the property. He's done what upkeep he's done, and he had done an okay job. It wasn't one of the worst houses we've ever dealt with. And then she feels she's entitled to it because she didn't get anything when she moved out. And then there's other complications, and there's a reason that they have been separated and haven't really talked, even though they have 4 kids together. So we had to navigate that one, and that one was painful. We've done this probably 20 plus times over the years. This was just one of the ones that was more difficult. And actually, we've done 2 this quarter. And this one was a little bit more difficult. The seller was facing foreclosure as well. And the wife felt like she was entitled to all the money. And we had to navigate that. And we ended up negotiating a 50-50 split and ended up working out. But it can be super difficult to do that. And that's the second one like that. The other one was very similar too. They hadn't been fighting. She had actually applied to work with us at one point, and she had to flee the state because he was abusing her, and she didn't feel safe anymore. And she tried to sell the house without him knowing. She owned it, but because they were married, dower rights applied. So when we got him involved, he was pretty smooth and pretty easy. They signed off, all was good. They both got their money and parted ways. They were both okay with 50-50. So that one went pretty smooth, and both parties were pretty happy on that. We had a different deal where the seller tried to get a few bucks, told him they were in contract, and the other wholesaler said, that's totally okay. Don't worry about it. We'll just close quick. We record affidavits on all of our properties because we've had this issue before and we've lost out on 30 grand deals because of this. And we went back to that wholesaler and said, hey, we had it first. I don't know what your plan is. They backtracked and made up a story and whatever. They backed out. We ended up paying the seller 8 grand more, but it ended up being a good deal. So it all worked out. We had another deal, probate. Ended up finding out that there was another heir that had passed away that no one knew. So it ended up being a double probate deal. But should have taken 2 to 3 months to close. Now it took over 5 months to close because once the first probate was done, we had to take a second probate out, which is it's just time consuming and takes some more attorney fees, and time kills all deals. We have another deal where trying to think of them all. We have another deal where the gentleman had 26 cats, I believe, and could only take 2 to the next place. And no, there aren't any shelters in Ohio that can take 24 cats, give or take, right away. And you can't just let them loose. So that's we've closed on that deal. And we're still navigating how to get rid of the cats safely and the best way for them. And so looks like the Humane Society is the only way. And I know that's animal lovers. That's never the best thing, but in this case, it might be the best thing. We had another one with a squatter, bought the house sight unseen, and we got them to leave. No big issues. We had another one. Guy went to jail. When he went to jail, his sister was dealing drugs, and the police raided the house. That was a fun one. The house was terrible. Follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting stuff at Real Estate Mike 02 on that one. Sorry guys, just trying to think of all these issues that we've had. I should have wrote them down before. We had another one where probate is cleared up, but the nephew's living in the house and won't let anyone in. It's not a great deal, so we want to see the inside of this house. And so, like, that's an issue. We've got to kind of incentivize this nephew to get us in and figure this out on how we can let him stay there a little bit, give him what he wants so we can get what we want and protect our downside on this one. We have another one where guy signed a lease because he really needed $1,000 and market rent was almost $2,000. So he signed a lease half of what market rent was, but he needed $1,000 really bad. And now, of course, he wants top dollar. We would have probably paid like $160, $170 if he had to rent at $200,000, but he had rented $1,000. We were only willing to pay $125 because we're figuring there's issues why this tenant, he only rented at $1,000. And so with all this, there's risk and rewards, and a lot of people don't realize what we go through as wholesalers and how many problems and issues we are dealing with. We have one right now that we're dealing with. She doesn't want to let anyone in the house. She was abused before, and that's just a challenging circumstance, but she wants her price. And for us to get the price, we need to verify some of these conditions, and it's nothing against the seller. I'm not saying she's lying, but we've had unfortunately people who do lie. And so if we're going to buy a house sight unseen, we're going to factor almost everything is wrong with it. And don't get me wrong, we've come out ahead on some, and then we've also lost. Some have been way worse than we ever anticipated. And so we're dealing with this seller. She doesn't want anyone in because she has no trust issues, or she has trust issues and trusts nobody. And so us as wholesalers, whenever I hear wholesalers have it easy, I sometimes think we have the hardest job in the transaction, getting these deals to close. And we don't get paid unless these deals get closed. We're never getting upfront money from buyers or sellers or anything like that. And so it can be extremely challenging to get paid in this market. And we're finding this market is tougher than ever because everyone's kind of desperate for deals right now. But buyers don't want to overpay and wholesalers need money. And so we're seeing more challenges with navigating multiple offers. And some of our competitors are doing guaranteed highest price and all that stuff. And we're just like, let them, because the market's not there for that. It's going to be tough. If they want to decrease their margins in a tough market, we're okay with that because we know we can bounce back and we'll be able to figure it out. And we'll be able to survive these downturns. So those were just some of the issues that we've helped sellers on in the last 60 days. Foreclosures and divorce seem to be a big one. I think we've had 6 or 7 divorce, and they were all the divorce cases or separation cases were also tied to foreclosure. Foreclosures were pending or soon to be filed. So they seem to be go hand in hand right now. Is couples who have houses together having financial problems, and instead of talking through them or working through them, they're like, hey, we're getting a divorce, and they stop paying on their houses. And a lot of times that's the most difficult thing, and that's their only asset to get rid of. And neither of them want to get rid of it. Neither of them want to give it up, but they all want the cash. And so we have to navigate that. It's a super challenging market right now. And just know if you're going to get into sourcing your own deals and want to get these deeper deals that you sometimes see us get here at Oasis Home Buyers, that you're going to have to get really good at solving people's problems and figuring out what is it that they ultimately want, because they all come in forward saying they want price. And if you're just giving them price, you're going to run into other issues. And so what I tell people is us as wholesalers, us as deal makers, we sometimes have the most difficult job. We pay all this money in marketing, and until we close a deal, we don't get paid. And so if you're thinking about getting the wholesaling, make sure you're good at communication, solving problems. We see a new problem almost daily, and it can be quite challenging sometimes. So hope that, guys, helps you with some of the issues us wholesalers deal with and why we get these big discounts, because it's something realtors and lawyers don't want to deal with. And a lot of times they want paid up front. And unfortunately, we don't get paid up front unless we solve the problem for them and help them get to the next solution. So that's what we're here to do. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you for listening to the Properties to Profit podcast. I hope you found today's episode valuable. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Follow me on social media for more updates and tips. Until next time, keep turning properties into profits.